When it comes to Illinois specifically, what are some major items you think are important to get passed when it comes to this package?
Well, the drinking water and wastewater portion is really critical. I am the chairwoman of the water subcommittee, Fisheries, Wildlife, and Water, and the backbone of the water portion of this was actually my Drinking Water and Wastewater Act that I actually managed to get through the entire process, and they got 89 votes on the floor. So it's very bipartisan. That became the backbone of the water infrastructure part of this infrastructure bill. I'm very pleased that there's significant dollars in there for replacement of lead service lines. And Illinois has 23% of the nation's entire lead service lines. So we have exponentially more than anyone else. Most of that is in the Chicago and Chicagoland area. So there's significant dollars in there for that. $43 billion in total is funneled through my Drinking Water and Wastewater Infrastructure Act for everything from getting contaminants out of our water systems to replacing lead service lines. There's $110 billion in new funds for roads, bridges, and major projects. So if you've ever been stuck in traffic, either on the Strangler or anywhere else in Illinois, in particular Chicago, there's a lot of money in there, a tremendous amount of money that the state can apply for to help us complete those projects. I'm very proud also that my off-state accessibility project, money is in there. This is a fund to make mass transit stations completely ADA compliant. You know, I don't ride the L, for example, because I never know if a particular station will be wheelchair accessible. This has money in it that will specifically address that issue all across the country. So there's quite a few provisions, and I'm very proud that Illinois will really do very well when it comes to all the different types of infrastructure. Remember, we are the center of infrastructure for the nation. If you want to move goods and people from the East Coast to the West Coast by road, rail, or air, you're coming through Illinois. And so we're going to bear a tremendous amount of benefit from this bill.
You know, when it comes to kind of traditional infrastructure, a lot of times, like you mentioned, people think about roads, bridges, maybe locks and dams and stuff. There are some people out there that might think in this particular package that there's kind of some pork or some extra stuff that's not really that traditional view of infrastructure. What would you say to those people? Would you say this is a pretty traditional infrastructure package, or are there some newer, more progressive items, more modernized items than what we've seen in years past?
Well, I think the most modern item in there that has not been there in the past is broadband, but I don't see that as pork at all. If you are the parent of a child who had to be, doing their schoolwork through distant education during the pandemic, you'll know how important having broadband access is. There's $65 billion in there that will ensure that every American has access to reliable, high-speed internet. If you've had to work from home at all anytime in the last 18 months, you know how important internet access is. And by the way, when I've traveled in Southern Illinois, I've actually talked to many businesses that say, hey, we want to come into Southern Illinois and set up factories and the like, but we're not going to do that because you don't have broadband. And so it's actually preventing businesses from coming into Illinois, especially into Southern Illinois. People want to establish call centers and the like, and they're just not doing it because there's no broadband in the southern, that southern part of the major parts of our state. And so I would have to say that broadband is something that is much more modern when you think of infrastructure, but I think it's just as important as your utilities. I do think that we as a nation should start thinking of broadband the way we think of electricity or water. It's a utility at this point.